buckle up. It's time to take the trip, buckle up.
You're listening to the Take the Trip podcast, where you'll find real talk and zero filter. I'm your host, Kendra Fogarty, and today I'm here with Kelly and Oscar of Spark Love and Wellness. Kelly and Oscar, I just love your family dynamic with your three lovely kids, love your approach to health and wellness, and I also really appreciate how you bring RVers together with building community. One thing I really noticed at the rally that we were at together is you seemed really intentional about community building, and I just think that's amazing. So you guys have been on the road for 8 years now, right? Were you always surrounded by community when you started off, or did you really have to work to build that?
Oh, yeah, we had to work.
Yeah.
We almost got off the road after the first year because, well, we did
Yeah,
not.
like 9-10 months in. Or about,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
rough. It was very lonely. And although we met people, we were just meeting a lot of seniors on the road at the time. We hadn't found a lot of families with kids. And once we learned about Thousand Trails and full-time families, then everything changed. We went
That was
to
a game
their
changer.
Yeah, we went to their rally in March. That was about 10 months on the road for us. And I was like, oh, this is what we were missing.
Okay.
I had no idea that there were folks, with families doing this at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. We used to always joke, and it was a struggle for us at first too. And we'd laugh because we were invited to more campfires with like grandmas and grandpas than we had been with people our own age. We were like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
I guess this is
Right.
just our friends now. Full-time families, amazing. Such a game changer. I was curious how it was back then. Like, has it evolved much
Oh.
since that first rally you were at?
It's definitely grown. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
when we went the first time, it was 40 families. And then now, how many families do they have last?
Over 100
Over
yeah.
100 families.
Wow.
for their annual their big rally, their
Yeah,
homecoming
I'm sorry.
rally.
Yeah, so like there's like a rally they have in Madison. And
Yeah, 40 is actually like more than I expected. That's pretty cool. Okay, so then you guys were actually thinking about getting off the road. So like what was going on through your mind at that time where you were like, okay, like is this it? Should we go? Like did we make a mistake? What were you thinking when you were going through those first few months where you were feeling kind of lonely and hadn't quite made those connections?
Yeah, I mean, all of that. I'd say the big part for me was Oscar was working a lot still at that time. And so I was alone with the kids quite a bit.
Mhm.
And I mean, I love my kids, but they were a lot younger back then and it was challenging. And the homeschooling thing was like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was all new. I mean,
It was all new.
I hadn't homeschooled before. And so, to be doing that on top of, the traveling and the travel plans and then
Mhm.
to not have any community necessarily to connect with I think it just made it a lot harder.
Yeah, it's wild how you can feel lonely when you have a lot around you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your family, yes, and all, but to be able to connect with others, like I had a great men's group that I had in Florida at our church before we left. And I missed that men's group, that was hard, and building up another community of men afterwards was a challenge too. So there was loneliness, in that first 9-10 months. Yeah, you had the big high the first 6 months, I mean, to give you perspective, like how far were we when we had our first date, just you and me?
It was in October. We launched in July.
Yeah, so 3 months about, we didn't have like
Any time
time because, you couldn't leave the rig with our babies.
We found a really sweet couple that we
Elderly couple,
basically
yeah.
left our kids with strangers, but they were going to the local Bible college. So, I mean, that kind of made me feel a lot more
that's
comfortable.
A solid bet, for
Yeah.
sure. Oh my gosh. And at that point too, you're just like, I really need a break. I really need to spend time with each other. We're going to just gamble on this and it's all going to be good. Oh, that's so relatable though. And I remember thinking, I was like doubting myself where I was like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why are we like, we have made like no friends here a few months in, but it can be tricky, but it's so achievable. Joining full-time families was definitely a turning point for us too.
Yeah. But Kendra, you said like it was like a few months. And when you started feeling that?
Yeah, like similar. We had the high at first where it was like, yeah, we're on like vacation.
Yeah, it goes to show like,
Yeah.
we're all human, right? We all desire connection.
For sure. And like we didn't set out, we weren't looking for community at first. Like that wasn't really the goal of why we left.
Yeah, same with us. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after a while, that kind of caught up where we were like, wait, we are rather lonely right now. And our kids are lonely and we need to be more intentional about this. So with your women's retreat that you just hosted, building community, I think that's amazing. Had a lot of FOMO. Wished we could have been there.
Aw.
But I do wonder, Did it give off any like real world reality show vibes, or did everything stay chill?
No, everything was great.
Okay, good, good. You never know. Getting a bunch of ladies together, like I don't know, sometimes things can go sideways, but I know the RV community is usually really chill and just such an incredible group of people that I imagined it was chill, but you just never know. I had to ask.
Yeah, no drama to report of.
Oh, good.
Everybody had a great time.
Everyone probably came back so relaxed and so zen, just
Yes.
like refreshed. It's incredible.
Yes, I had to take a nap though because I was the like main host. So I came home and I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah, I feel everyone but you.
Yeah.
So you kind of started talking about parenting, and we know parenting is hard in any sized home, but there are definitely a lot of unique challenges in an RV, right? So has
Mhm.
there been anything that's been really tricky to navigate, especially with having teens now? You know, they started when they were little. How has that kind of felt to that transition from having littles in the RV to now having teens?
I miss the littles. Let me just say
Yeah.
Aw.
that.
I do and I don't. They're a lot more independent and like we can literally go away for the weekend now. We did that last year when we were here in Sedona. We spent a weekend away and it's
Yeah.
like, this is great. We don't have to hire a
Wow.
sitter. Like,
Oh,
We
that's
took a cruise,
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
No
just
way.
yeah.
I can look forward to some things, though. I'm definitely terrified of the teen years, but I can hold on to those silver linings for sure.
Well, how old are your kids right now?
They're 5 and 8.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. Like our kids, Gus was 4. He was
Yeah,
4 when he started, and
yeah.
now he's 12 going on 13. That's crazy.
It is. I personally think that they are who they are, and they are, for the most part, really great kids because we do what we do, because we made the choice to not put them into the school system necessarily. And we spend a lot of time with them. And I have learned to let the schooling not be as much of a priority and more of the like life lessons of like
Mhm.
just teaching them to be good humans that treat others well, that love to learn, that serve and put others first. Because I
Yeah.
think that when you do that, it's going to create success later on down the road, no matter what. We live in an age right now where if you want to learn how to do anything, you can learn how to do anything pretty much
Yeah.
for free by using the internet, So,
Yeah, that's a great point, and I love that perspective because I think a lot of parents, and I don't know, well, I assume, I don't know if it's just me, but I worry where I'm like, am I
yes,
preparing them enough? And,
100%.
how
Yeah.
is this going to go? So
And
that's
all the
very
judgment
comforting
from the
here.
outside world, coming on you as well. Like, oh, what are you doing to your kids and this and that, It's wild. You go to a restaurant and we'll have all our families. And I remember one time there was like maybe 8 families and all the kids, we just dumped them on the table. And you could just see the servers like already be like, oh my gosh, I got the kid table.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after a dinner, the servers came to us and said, your kids were so well behaved.
That has to feel good.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, that's
Now
so
the kids are perfect
validating.
all the time. No, they're not. But I'll tell you, there's a certain level of respect I feel that they have. They can communicate really well with folks, have conversations, no matter what age they are, and that's really big. For me, growing up, that's what it was like in my family. My parents were immigrants that came in, and it was just, you wanted to make sure that you can, and they had a certain level of standards of respect that you have for your elders. I feel like I'm really fortunate that doing this, our own environment that we have, we can create that similar thing. Whereas go to public schools and I feel that it's a bit different.
Yeah.
There's a level of respect even to the teacher is gone.
We did have those moments where we have a photo of it and it always makes us chuckle. The first year homeschooling on the road, there's a picture of Annie face down on the floor with a pencil in her hand. And that was after like a massive temper tantrum with math.
Is that the first year?
Yes, it was the first year. And I just know, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to screw up my kids. Like they don't listen to you like they would listen to teachers. You know what I mean? Because you're their safe space, right? And
100%.
so,
Yes.
yeah.
It's
So I was like,
such a
oh, I'm gonna
challenge.
screw them up. Oh my gosh.
And it's hard because it feels so wrong because of what society tells us, the way we're choosing to
100%.
parent.
And
Yeah.
that
I
is
mean, going
it.
against that grain. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
tough.
But Annie's going to be graduating with an AA in
Yeah.
May. And so she'll have both her high school diploma and an AA. So I'm like, there's hope.
Yeah. She's going to get into, college at a junior standing and
Yeah.
she's really
That's
happy with her
amazing.
SAT score and she's applying. So, but I got to tell you one thing though, just the methodology of the style, how Kelly did it as far as making them lead their education, like self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's very independent teaching. So the onus is on them. They know, and if they want to pursue, then it's on them to continue pursuing, education.
Yeah, and when you think about it, that's what sets you up for lifelong success, and that's what you need to
Yeah.
succeed in a
Yes.
career. So those are just really valuable skills that you don't need to go to a public school, and you may not learn those if you're in a public school. And I caught the vibe from your kids right away. They impressed me immediately.
Oh,
They're like the kind of kids where you just want to like talk more to them, and like not every teen you meet do you necessarily want to continue a conversation with. But yeah, your kids are really cool, and it's so reassuring as a traveling family with littles to see the teens and be like, wow, they are thriving. Those are awesome kids. This is going to be just fine.
And one thing I just want to add to that too, it's like when you're in this community though, it's a big age gap from the littles and the teenagers. And the teenagers play with the littles, not segregated by ages like you are in, school.
right.
Yes.
And so you're playing with everyone at different ages. I love that feeling.
Same. That's something that really surprised me. And it's just amazing. Like, I'd expect these 12-year-olds that are next to my 8-year-old to not give her the time of day, but, they'll just jump in and play with her and include her. And it's really heartwarming. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the traveling. So y'all have been traveling a very long time. You put in a lot of miles, right? Have you ever had a travel day or any situation that's really gone super sideways, real chaotic that stands out to you?
Yeah, the one that always stands out to me is when we were rolling into Carlsbad, New Mexico. That was early on. It was a long travel day, and it was dark. And the campground I had booked was
Oh yeah, that's right. I was
yeah,
wondering what you're talking about. I was
yeah,
like, oh, yeah.
was downwind from an oil refinery.
Oh my
And we
God.
rolled in, and we're like, this is
You
I
can
mean,
smell it in the car before you get,
yeah,
they
it
got out.
was so bad. And so we decided, we're like, we cannot stay here. We cannot sleep here. Like, we could not breathe it. It smelled so bad. So then,
Yeah, well, the lady at check-in, I asked her, I go, how do you handle this? She's like, oh, I just don't leave my rig. I'm like, what?
Gosh.
No, I can't stay
Yeah.
here.
so we're hangry and we're tired
Yeah.
and it's dark and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? So we're getting on our phones trying to find a place to go, And we finally found a place actually kind of right outside of the entrance to the caverns in White City. And we roll in and we get in, and we had gone over some of the worst bumps out there. We opened up the rig, and it was like literally anything that was on a shelf was no longer on a shelf. It was horrible.
Yeah, everything's spilled and like, Kelly comes out. She's like, stay in the car.
Especially to the kids. I'm like, don't even come
Stay
anywhere
in the
near me. There's glass everywhere. Like, we didn't have a ton of glass, but like we did have Corel plates, which don't typically break. But when they all flew off, bounced everywhere, all the kids' books. I just remember and I was so tired and so hungry and crabby.
That's like the perfect storm.
It
That's
was.
like so many things to go wrong. Oh, that's tricky. And how early was that in your travel?
That's within our first year.
So do you feel like when you have travel days like that just don't go super well, that it's easier now to handle than when you first started? Or like, what do you guys
It's a
think on
good
that?
question. It's like, we're so into this now. It's just like part of life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're-
Like I'm like trying to pick like, we had a tire tread blew out in Oregon, but fortunately the tread just came off, but the tire didn't explode, thankfully.
Oh, gosh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Um,
that's scary.
The kids helped me fix it or swapped tires,
Yeah.
Another learning experience.
and we ate donuts, So it's like,
I feel like at first, when things used to happen, it used to throw me off so much more than it did now. Like at first, I'd get so frustrated. Our RV had so many repairs in our first year. It was just like, I was like, what have we done?
it continues. Yeah.
Yeah, and those never stop. But now I'm just like, I think used to it, easy to, roll with it. And I understand more like the ebb and flow of this lifestyle where those things do happen. But we always know that the sun comes out again and it's all good. What you described, though, is something that I think some people would be like, oh, thrown in the towel. There's glass everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, imagine,
Yeah.
like that'd be enough, I think, for some families to be like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Well, here's the thing though, like part of this journey or going out in the RV was to go and live.
Mhm.
Right. And I tell us, I've said this, to my family from the beginning. It's like my favorite part of living this is actually travel day, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But here's the thing though, the Lord always provides, and our road trips have been, it's an opportunity to build that trust and that provision, because you don't know what's going to happen, but I know that we're taken care of.
Wow, I love that
And this is a good opportunity to
perspective.
show the kids, like, no matter what happens, we're going to be fine. It's one of those things was like, okay, what's in store? What are you going to do that's going to test this trust today?
Yeah, and you're learning resilience and just problem solving and all that, which are other great life skills that you don't
100%.
always learn
Yeah.
in a classroom, right? Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's not even like for us though, but it's like for someone that's on the road in need of help or something. I
Mhm.
think countless people we've helped on the road,
Yeah.
you know?
That's a great thing about this community too. And I mean, we help people obviously outside of the community as well, but just that there's more opportunities to help others. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
feel like, somebody's pulled off on the side of the road. Oscar's very mechanical. We'll stop. I mean, we
Mhm.
don't always get out. He'll go first, assess the situation
Yeah.
and help if we can. That's been a good part too. You're right. But yeah, we've come in and the refrigerator's been fallen over too. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
That was good problem solving. How do we get the refrigerator back
No.
up?
Yeah. It's a residential fridge too.
I know.
And the whole thing fell over.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Was it standard?
No, it was standard. It was the way the kind of like a stabilizing plate was glued to the top of the fridge, and the glue, I guess, decided it was done.
My gosh.
Yeah.
And it all came over. But
That's
yeah,
so stressful.
that was fun.
Yeah, that sounds like it. And it still worked though after you got it?
I do, and it's still going. It's got some dents in the front, but that's all right.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, speaking of all the places you've traveled, is there anywhere that you would not go back to?
I mean, there's two states that I always say that I don't really love. I don't love Mississippi and I
Okay.
don't love New Mexico. Those would
Oh,
probably be my two. I did, however, I will say, preface it, we did do the balloon fiesta one year, it was not this last one, but the one before. And that was very cool. We were connected with the pilot, helped him out every day, went out and did all of the crewing, got to go up in the balloons. That was an experience I definitely think is amazing, but I don't love the state, the rest of it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just, I don't like the big cities. I don't like going to big
Mhm.
cities. I like being out in, the country.
hmm
And I grew up in the city,
city did you grow up in?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
In the suburbs of Chicago. Yeah, on the Italian side of the family, they were in the north side of Chicago. So, growing up would be there and then grew out in the suburbs later on.
So you wanted to kind of get away from that.
Well, no, I mean, at first I was like, oh, I'd love to see it. But now, just, I don't know, the last 8 years or so, things have just changed quite a bit,
Mhm.
especially after COVID. It's not the
Mhm.
same anywhere, I feel like, at these cities, these big cities. And
Yeah.
so I enjoy being out and about. And like right now, we're near Sedona out here in the desert.
Mhm.
Now, I will say I do like going into the cities, but I don't like spending a lot of time into them. But I do like checking out new cities. Like this summer, we checked out Seattle, and I would say we both were pleasantly surprised with what we got. We were expecting a lot worse, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they took care. Yeah,
But it was nice in the touristy area.
I gotta give them
so,
props. Yeah, it was really nice in the tourist areas.
That's good to know. We're not typically city people.
Mhm.
However, our children very much are. We
Oh.
they love cities. I don't know what it is. It's like living their best lives. They love it. Didn't want to leave New York City, so it's grown on me just seeing them enjoy it and see it through kind of like a child's eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
So now I'm
Yeah.
like more open to cities, but they do overwhelm me, especially like parking a dually. Like
Oh,
that's just like
yeah.
so stressful.
Yeah,
So like I'm more open to them now, but before I was definitely like, just give me a forest and I'll just hide there
Yeah.
away from people for forever. But now it's been fun actually to check out some of them. Winter makes everyday things harder. Dead batteries, snowed in driveways, messy cars, and getting stuck when you least expect it. If you're anything like me, it's also always when you're already running late. That's why this episode is brought to you in part by eTrailer, because winter has a way of keeping us on our toes. Even when we try to snowbird, it always seems to find us somewhere, at least for a few days. So whether you're gearing up for winter or you're dealing with it as it comes, eTrailer helps keep you on the road with gear like tire chains, battery chargers, floor mats, and recovery equipment you can trust. You know, the kind of gear you're glad you planned for when conditions change fast. Head over to eTrailer.com or click the link in the notes to find winter gear that fits your vehicle and handles whatever the season throws at you, so you can spend less time stressing about freezing and more time drinking hot toddies or skiing or whatever it is that brings you joy when that snow is falling. So I do have to ask, Oscar, I feel kind of bad asking this because I empathize. I understand you're in pain with whatever's going on with your back. But like, oh my God, like what is that thing that you hang from your neck? Like, does that
Yeah.
hurt? What are you doing?
So I don't want to say chronic back pain, but just I played a lot of sports growing up, I got a lot of injuries and I just have a bad back and things slip easily than before. I have good friends that tell me, I need to do more exercise and and strengthen the muscles. And of course, Kelly does too. And, but at the same time, though, it's just, I could go and pick up like a shoe and a disc will slip, and it's like, I'll be in pain. And so decompression really helps. And that's one of the things I do to decompress. So
what is it doing?
so you have this strap like thing that goes around your neck, your head, and you hang from a pole, and your body weight, your head's staying there, but your body's going down, and it's just decompressing that, and it gives me relief in my pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just the pinched nerve or whatever that's being triggered, that's giving me this nerve pain, it goes away, which is nice.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. It definitely looks like a medieval like torture device or something. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that's not what's going on.
I always tell people, don't just jump on one of those things. You got to take it really slow. I know there's definitely some of the videos that have gone viral on our channel are the ones of him hanging like that. And there are a lot of people that were like, where do I get this?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Careful.
it just makes me nervous. I don't want to be the cause of somebody having an injury, but
they sell them like,
they do
anybody
sell
can
them.
do it. You can
They
get
sell
Amazon.
them.
It's
They're
not
like
like
traction devices.
it's not like it's,
yeah.
contraband or anything like that.
No.
Kelly, do you do it too? Have you tried it?
I
You
tried it once. It
tried
doesn't do much for me. I don't have a lot
She
of
doesn't
back.
have-
I don't have a lot of back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. I'm curious now. I have have very crunchy back and neck and stuff. So, and we did have an inversion table before we started traveling. So I'm like, okay, I'd never heard of this.
Oh, I just
neck
got one.
contraption.
Well, I didn't just get one, but yeah, we
Yeah.
have an inversion table too.
A ridiculous amount of things for his neck for living in an RV, but I
That-
understand.
But I don't get much relief from the inversion table. It's wild. I don't get that the compression that you would think you would get from the lower back, for me at least, is the
Well, when we connect again, if you'd like, you can try it out. So we've had plenty of friends come over and try it out.
Actually, yeah. I'll take you up on that. I do want to try this out. All right. So Kelly, you're a dietitian and a health coach, right? So food seems like super important to y'all. And I have to ask you this because this has been something that's actually been really tough for me when traveling. Do you ever just cave and you just totally smash on some greasy pizza and burgers, or like what goes on those like travel days, like when you're hangry, like you said before? Do you ever just go for the junk food, or are you consistently healthy?
Oh, no, I'm not consistently 100%. No way. I mean, and that was part of the traveling thing. For a pretty decent period, I was vegan, and I would stick to that pretty well, except for a few things. Like every now and then we go to a place that was known for its like fried chicken. I'm like, we have got to try that. When you go to all these places that have unique foods, you want to try them all. But I'm selective. Like I don't do like McDonald's or get a bag of Doritos. I'll get something that's like a local junk food, something that's more unique or whatever. At least that's what I do now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a junk food junkie. It's just, I don't know. I like my golden arches here and there, but it's slowly going away though. But like if there's like an In-N-Out burger, for example, like you don't have that all over the place,
Yeah,
And
so we saw a line that was 50 cars deep the other day, and I was like,
Yeah.
what is this like? And I didn't really know. I'm not super into fast food, and I was like, is that a thing? My husband was like, yeah, that's a thing, but we didn't try it yet. I wasn't willing to wait that long for fast food, but now I'm curious. And Kelly, that's really interesting because I was actually vegan when we left and started traveling, and now I'm definitely, I can hear the boos from the listeners right now about talking about being vegan, but now I'm very much not, and my husband's almost like a carnivore diet now. He had been vegan as well, and for various reasons. First, it was kind of what you said. We were at these awesome local restaurants, and I really wanted to be able to like go all in and really enjoy the cuisine that they specialized in. But then a lot of it was just the convenience. It was felt difficult in a lot of these different rural areas to find the foods that we were used to getting. There's often not near Whole Foods or things like that. So then it just felt tricky. But then other things kind of evolved too. And I kind of realized that it served me very well for a time, but then I felt it was time to probably incorporate more meats and that type of things, and I started feeling a little better. So anyway, but I wanted to ask about the donuts too, because donuts seem to be a very important part of your family dynamic. How often do you guys eat donuts?
Well, I got to tell you, when we first launched, it was once a week for sure.
Yeah.
Like that was my treat with the kids, much younger. Like after a week of work, to go and find a local donut shop, and yeah, those are fond memories I'll never forget. But now it's not so much the case. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but I'm very picky in where we get them too. Like I want to have.
You're a connoisseur.
Yeah, you want to get a good one.
Yeah.
It used to be once a week for quite a bit of time. I would sometimes go and get like 6 dozen and bring it back to the camp and, share with our neighbors, and
Mhm.
just go around handing out donuts.
Oh, that's fun. So
Mhm.
I actually got my kids their first donut last month at Sedonuts. Have you
Oh,
gone to
yeah.
Oh,
Sedonuts
Yeah.
yet?
really? Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, their minds were blown. And then I was thinking about how, in the 90s growing up, donuts were like a staple breakfast food. And I was like giving
Isn't
them
that
like a
crazy,
treat.
man?
And I was like, it's like, yeah, just this fried cake for breakfast. No big deal. But it's so
Yeah.
funny. Struggle is real on eating healthy out here, but we want to be able to
Yeah,
enjoy
it
it
is.
too. It's
Yeah.
all about a balance.
It is.
All right, so we're going to play a little game called Live, Visit, Exile. So I'm going to give you 3 locations, right? So one you must live at, one you can visit, but the final one you are exiled from and you can never go there again, okay?
Oh.
So the first is Florida, Arizona, and Colorado. So which would you live at? Which would you just visit? And which one would you exile yourself from?
Why'd you pick those states? Those are like amazing states.
I know. To challenge you. I couldn't just put Mississippi in there,
I mean, my gosh. I mean,
I love Colorado for the landscape and the weather. I do really love because they have a lot of blue skies.
a lot. It's
Mhm.
beautiful.
So
And yeah, the landscape is so diverse. It's like,
it is.
yeah, awesome.
I mean, by default, Arizona would have to be my exile because I love Florida and I love Colorado. So I
Hey.
don't know.
It's a matter of like, do you want more desert or not? It's
Yeah, I do love it here and I love how dry it is right now, but I couldn't be here all summer. So
yeah, we haven't been here in the summer yet. Though.
yeah,
But yeah, real
Yeah.
close friends of ours, yeah, they say it's brutal.
yeah,
It
they
gets up to like 110, right? That's like,
yes, yes.
Even
that's
higher,
tough.
but
Oh,
in the
does it?
teens, one
Dang.
some yeah.
So that's
Okay.
that would have to be
Yeah,
exile if
I would
I
agree with
had to
that.
pick. But I might lean towards living in Colorado. Well, I don't know. I love the beach. Yeah, I guess live Florida and visit Colorado probably would be mine.
Okay. Do you
I
agree,
would
Oscar?
probably live Colorado, visit Florida. You can do a lot of four-wheeling. Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
Jeep, and so like we'll go four-wheeling. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, go out into like either the national forest or BLM land, and go with some friends and shoot
Mhm.
some clays. You
Yeah,
know,
that sounds like a good time. We haven't done that before. That sounds awesome. All right, so the next one, it's going to be the Florida Keys, the Florida Panhandle, and Orlando. So all Florida locations, but where are you going to exile yourself in Florida?
Kendra, come on. We
I
have
know.
some land in the Panhandle.
We actually do. It's raw land. There's
Yeah.
nothing on it right now, but
I would say exile Panhandle.
yeah,
I don't know. The Emerald Coast is so beautiful, and the sandy
it
beaches
is.
are like unbelievable.
It
Mhm.
is. That's a tough one. I wouldn't want to live in the Keys because I think you're just too far removed.
Yeah,
So I could visit the Keys,
Yeah.
live in Orlando, I guess.
yeah,
Mm.
Okay.
yeah. I would live in Orlando, visit the Keys. Orlando, it's a great hub for travel. You get
Yeah.
tourists, all that.
All right,
Mhm.
perfect. All right, great. Okay, so I want to switch gears a little bit. Kelly, I enjoyed reading your blog from a few years ago, and I
Mhm.
really appreciated how vulnerable and honest you were about your relationship with alcohol. There was this story on there that just like blew my mind about when you went to London when you were 14. Can you
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about that?
Oh man. I haven't actually reread my blog in a hot minute, but I can tell you about that story. For a little backdrop, my mom was an alcoholic. Fortunately, she passed away when
Sorry.
she was
for
only
that.
57. Yeah. Oh, thank you. And so my journey has always been I don't want to end up sick like she was sick, or
Mhm.
actually, she had lung cancer, she had heart disease and all the like. But
Gosh.
yeah, but as a young child, of course, I was then exposed to alcohol pretty early on. I mean, my whole life, that's what I saw. So that's how I think I, at that time, was coping with all the, issues that I had grown up with, living with an alcoholic family. But yeah, I went to London to visit a girlfriend, and we were very unsupervised. Let's just say that her mom was in the high social circles, and we were 14 running around the city literally by ourselves, and they'll serve you in a bar even when you're only 14 there, which is crazy. And
That's wild.
so yeah, I drank way too much when we were there, and I am very grateful to be alive, even because just doing stupid things, making
Mhm.
stupid decisions. Of course, after having alcohol, you don't ever really make great decisions. So
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that just has to be so wild. I couldn't imagine what it felt like to be a 14-year-old in a big city unsupervised, but then adding alcohol to it, that's just like so many
I
layers.
know, right? Oh my
It's
gosh. I think our kids are
crazy.
15. Max is 15, and he's 17. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. They're
wild.
obviously being raised very differently.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's also just so relatable, though. I definitely overdrank often when I was younger. And it's one of those nights where, like you said, lucky to be alive, where I'm
Yeah.
like, that was just nuts. I don't know how,
Yeah, totally.
like, wow. So how long have you been sober now then? Because I know you kind of talked about how when you were, then of legal age, how alcohol was like kind of just a part of your social life, right? And
Yeah.
then eventually you realized that that was maybe not how you wanted to live, right? I don't know if I'm paraphrasing that great. I don't know if you want to add on that or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's correct. I think, I've always, I guess, kind of had that addictive personality. People talk about that. Like you have one and you want more. Like I drink a lot of coffee. And that's my last remaining vice, I guess you'd say, which is okay. I've settled with that.
For
And
sure.
actually cut back a little bit on that lately. But yeah, it got to the point where I realized that it just was, I didn't want my kids to know me like I knew my mother. My mother
Mhm.
was a functioning alcoholic. She got up every morning and went to work. But I do remember, like, I would never really want to be talking with her after like 7 or 8 o'clock at night because I could
Mhm.
tell she had been drinking, or like call her on the phone when I'd gone to college. I never called after a certain time. And I realized that that's who I was turning into. There was a certain point, and I would get a box of wine so I wouldn't have to like necessarily see how much I was drinking. There's like these little tricks,
Mhm.
that I realized that were just gonna be it just was not healthy for me or for my family or for my body at all. Obviously, there's nothing really redeeming about alcohol for the body or for the brain.
Mhm.
So yeah, when COVID hit, it was right when COVID started. We were going to stay with a family that we were really close with, and we stayed on their property actually for several months during COVID. And I quit the day we left to go there because I knew they would also be a good support system. They weren't big drinkers and just really good people. And I was like, all right, this is going to have to happen. And 5 years, over 5 years now.
Wow.
So
Congratulations. That's amazing. Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
sharing. I think people are talking more about things like this and I appreciate it. I grew up in a family where there was just w- way too much drinking, so that was all very relatable for me. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And and you're doing the hard work. You're breaking those like generational trauma issues, and that's hard. And so just like major props to you. Admittedly, I do drink a little bit, but my husband does not. And I think a lot of people are sober curious right now. I think it's definitely trending. Even if it's not long term, they're wanting to take breaks or be really more mindful of how much they're consuming. So appreciate
Yeah.
you just touching on that subject because I think a lot more people are kind of interested in exploring that option these days. I also think, though, it can be like we've noticed sometimes it can be a little difficult in the RV community to not be drinking. Did have like a situation where we had met friends early on, and usually the activities did involve alcohol. And then when we weren't drinking, we noticed we maybe weren't getting the invitations. and
Oh,
um
yeah.
and that and that was kind of hard to navigate, and that made me feel pretty bad. So like, have you ever run into anything like that where like it's been kind of like difficult to be at the campfire or whatever when everyone else seems to be drinking, or
Yeah.
have you just kind of found your people?
I would say a little bit of both. I mean, definitely when we first started, everybody was drinking. Like everybody was drinking. You're right, I was drinking. We were drinking then, and still a lot of people do absolutely in the RV life. It is sort of that part of that's what you do at a campfire, but it
Mm-hmm.
has also shifted to other things like that are becoming legal everywhere else. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a belief that that's healthier. I would argue against that from a pure health standpoint. I think people are doing that more, and I find that's actually become a little more challenging for me too because I won't do that either. And so for me to be at these fires where people are doing that now instead, it's sort of the new
Mm-hmm.
alcohol or whatever. But we have found our people, and it's a matter of just
I mean,
continuing
yeah,
to
our friends are pretty diverse in the sense that
yeah.
people drink. A lot of them drink.
And it's not
Some
that we
don't.
don't hang out with people that do
Yeah,
any of it. I mean, that's not what I was saying about this either. I have a lot of
but
friends that do and close friends that
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
do, and that's fine, of course.
and we'll have events. We'll meet up with people. We just don't stay late and drink.
Yeah, there's a
Mm-hmm.
certain point in time where you're like, time to go home.
Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
like any
Yeah.
other party, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. Like people can do whatever if you want to get blitzed
Yeah.
or what. Like do it. I just think for me personally, it was like my feelings were hurt because I was like, I still want to be there, even if I'm
Yeah.
not partaking in that
Yeah.
necessarily. So you're also big boondockers, right? So you are often off grid where you're not having hookups. And I know you've done this for like weeks at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Months.
Months. Oh, that's impressive. That's serious dedication. Now, what is the longest amount of time that you have gone without taking a shower?
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude.
Depends if I shower.
I mean,
Not wet wipes. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Like
'Cause
an
we have- there's
actual
wet
like
wipes.
water shower.
at least 5 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
5 days. That's
Yeah.
actually like that's pretty good. I thought it might have been longer. Like, yeah, 5 days is decent.
I may have stretched
said
a
least.
week.
I
I
said
may have
least.
been a week. But
Okay,
we
week.
do have, we'll put like a little bucket.
And when you can smell yourself through your jeans,
Gross.
okay,
That's so bad.
time to clean out, buddy.
That's hilarious. How do your kids like feel about doing that? Like when they are
We have to force them to shower, so
Oh,
it's like,
that's
Not
funny. Yeah.
anymore. They're
Yeah, well,
good
no.
now. Now that they're older.
Yeah, that's right, 'cause,
They're,
like-
they're pretty, they want to look and smell good now that
yeah,
they're getting older.
exactly. Yeah, the respective hormones are making them, try to appeal to the opposite sex.
That makes sense. Yeah, my kids are the same way though. They hate taking showers, and it's like in the summertime, I feel like half the time the shower is like the pool, and I'm like, okay,
Yes. And
whatever.
that's fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, there's definitely some surprising parts of RV life, right? Like I know one time I was literally taking a bath in a creek in West Virginia, and then I like stopped and I paused and I was like, I just really didn't predict this in my life. Like I never really saw this coming. That this was going to be like how
Many
I
of
was
those
going to.
moments.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Many of those moments.
Oh my gosh. Is there anything else that's really made you pause where you're like, never, this wasn't on my bingo card for my life, but here we are. We're embracing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell Kelly, I go, babe, did you ever think, that you would ever live, that I would, let's just put in perspective, I have you, we're in a trailer with our 3 kids in the middle of nowhere, and we're pooping in a bucket.
With the composting toilet. So
Composting toilet, of course.
Gosh. Oh, I love it. That's hilarious. So true. But we love it, right? We like just learn to embrace it. I remember at first, like the thought of it too, it was like, okay, like the black tank, it was all freaky. And then once you're doing it, you're like, this is no big deal at all.
no big deal.
No big deal. All right. So before we play a quick game of Would You Rather, if you aren't already following Spark Love and Wellness, you definitely want to check out their pages filled with great family vibes and really delicious foods and some awesome RV life content. Now, for a couple Would You Rathers before we wrap up, would you rather eat at McDonald's, okay, or hunt and forage your own dinner from whatever you can find at the campground?
In the campground?
In the camp. So yeah, like if you're in, you're in Sedona right now, so maybe you find some javelina, but maybe if you're at TTO, you might need to go have some gator. You're like in the Midwest, it might be squirrel.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you know that javelinas are rodents?
They're not. They're closer to
Oh.
deer. They're not rodents.
They're rodents, I
They're
thought.
not rodents. They're not pigs though either. They're
I thought they
closer
were
to the-
pigs. This
They're
is
not
news.
pigs.
Oh
No.
my
They're closer to
God.
the deer
It's not
family.
swine. No
Deer
way.
family. Yes, they are. They're closer to
I
the
could have
deer
sworn
family
they were.
than the pig family. We'll have.
Anyways,
You
We're
guys
going to
look
fact
it
check
up.
that. But yeah.
I would go
Things are-
McDonald's because I think foraging in a campground would be very challenging.
I mean, there's some mushrooms out here, okay? And when you hit them, the spores, you see them, it's like powder. Like I don't know what you can eat.
Yeah, who knows?
And
That's a
that's
good
one of the
point.
things I think that education has like done a disservice for America, is not teaching people how to forage.
Yes.
That's
Like
a great
honestly,
point.
there's so much out
Yes.
here.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's like an actual life survivor skill that we could all really.
Yes.
Yeah,
really
and it's
use.
not one you can do like over the weekend.
Yeah, no.
It's-
Mhm.
You got to learn your entire life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. And our next one. Would you rather be only able to play the song Turn Down for What in your truck on travel days on repeat? So every travel day, that's the only song you're going to hear. It's going to be playing the whole time. Or you're only able to stream The Bachelor on TV inside your RV. It's the only TV show you have access to.
Turn down for what?
100%.
Hands down.
Yeah, no way.
Hands
I
down.
could not
Yeah.
sit and watch The Bachelor.
No way. Uh-uh.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, it was really great chatting with you. Thank you so much for being on the Take the Trip podcast. And listeners, if you're still out there, thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear your feedback over on Take the Trip fam and any suggestions you may have for future guests or topics. See you next time. Don't unbuckle just yet. I have a very interesting song that I guarantee you've never heard before, and I just had to share it with y'all to wrap up this episode. And thank you again to eTrailer for supporting the show and helping to make my podcasting dreams a reality. Remember to head to eTrailer.com or check the link in the notes to stay ready for whatever winter throws at you.
Whoa, oh, 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 oh. 5 hearts rolling down this highway, homage to a hope-filled dream. Chasing sun across the counties, chasing ways to serve and be seen.
Oscar's laughing with a donut, powdered sugar on the steering wheel.
Kelly's got her coffee,
Clear and steady, saying love like this is real.
we're at Spark Love and Wellness on the road, sharing what we got, making strangers feel at home. Boondock hearts in a wide open sky. A little low on showers, but our spirits stay high. Yeah, we're building up a beautiful crew. Every mile, every smile, we come back new.
3 teens stacking chairs at the potluck, passing plates, learning names in the line.
Kelly's talking food and freedom, how you feed your body.
How you feed your mind.
Compost thrown in the tiny bathroom. We joke and light a match, then laugh some more. Dry shampoo and river rinses feel as rich as marble floors. We're at Spark Love and Wellness on the road, sharing what we got, making strangers feel at home. Boondock carts in a wide open sky. A little low on showers, but our spirits stay high. Yeah, we're building up a beautiful crew. Every mile, every smile, we come back new. From the desert dust to the mountain rain, we show up again and again. Pass the lantern, pass the love down the line.
Every stop a little story, every face a little shrine.
Oh, yeah! We're at Spark Love and Wellness on the road, sharing what we got, making strangers feel at home. Boondock carts in a wide open sky. A little low on showers, but our spirits stay high. Yeah, we're building up a beautiful crew. Every mile, every smile, we come back new.